I'm here at American Honda headquarters in Torrance, California for their fabulous event, Cars, Bikes, and Coffee. So not only am I going to wander around the parking lot and check out some amazing cars and motorcycles, but we're going to head inside for the American Honda Museum collection, where we get to look at some fantastic memorabilia as well as race cars, regular and daily driver cars, and motorcycles. So join me as we go inside. So today I'm in Torrance, California, or south of Los Angeles, at the campus of American Honda headquarters. And I have to say, they have one of the biggest parking lots I've seen at a business, and tons of car and motorcycle enthusiasts were already here before I showed up. Lots of different car clubs, Honda Elements, Honda Civics, Honda S2000s, lots of motorcycles. So even before I got up to the Honda headquarters buildings, it was fun to walk up and down the aisles to check out all the different cars that people brought to display, just to kick tires and check out all the different vehicles. Such a crazy variety of things here in Southern California. Like I said, a little bit of motorcycles, a little bit of cars. It was fun to see lots of unique bikes and cars that I've never seen before that have also been imported from other countries. So we're going to take a look at a few things as we walk through. Southern California has a huge ruckus community and lots of modifications, and monkeys as well. The Groms, the Ruckuses, the Monkeys, so many clubs that show up for events like this with all their bikes tricked out, stretched, lowered, blinged out. Super fun to see all the different modifications that people do to their bikes. I would take both. Now back to the category of things that I'm pretty sure I've never seen before. I came upon a group of motorcycles up ahead that totally look very Batman, Batmobile looking, and it's the Honda NM4. I'm pretty sure I've never seen this bike before. They only produced it for a few years, but very unique fairings for sure. So that was a fun treat to see those bikes. Next up on the What Is That Bike trivia game is the Honda Dash Nova. It's a 125. I can also say I've never seen one of those before. Somebody also brought their cute little stand-on scooter. But that one I had to Google. One of the things that I miss about the IMS shows, the International Motorcycle Shows, was having a chance to walk around, look at all the custom bikes that were in the Custom Bike Builder show, all the different vendors, and seeing all the custom bikes, the accessories, all the different things that people do to customize their bikes. So today was a fun chance to see all those different custom modifications on all types of bikes. There was, Triumphs and BMWs and Hondas and Suzukis and lots of cars too. So it was nice to see all the vendors that were there, vendors that had camping gear accessories, the pop-up tops for on the roof of your car. It was also fun to see different racing components, whether it's, again, lots of custom race bikes, brakes, aftermarket exhausts, lots of different systems that were on display from the vendors that were on hand that day. So huge variety of stuff to look at today. Next, we stumbled across some fabulously restored, well-maintained older bikes. It's always nice to see those trail 70s that still look fantastic. Here's a nice looking Suzuki, another older Honda. All right, next up on the what is it? It's a Honda Beat. These were only made from 1991 to 1996, so not a ton of those were produced. Super cute little car. I had never seen one of those before. And then this guy was riding around all day. This is the Moto Compacto. It's an electric ride-on, I don't think they're calling it a scooter, but it's a personal vehicle that folds up into its own carrying case. So that was really fun to see that riding around on campus. All right, there's more cars. We still haven't even gotten out of the parking lot yet, but we're working our way up to the main building, and lo and behold, I see one of my favorite cars, the Honda CRX. My best friend in high school, this was her first car. We had so much fun, so many great memories driving around in that CRX. Hers was all black. It was so fun, so cool. Loved that car. Let me know in the comments below, what was your first car? Mine was a 1968 Volkswagen Bug. Now we finally made it inside, and our first item up for bid is an autonomous work vehicle. So a fun little four-wheeler, probably an idea for being used in, warehouses like Amazon or something like that. And now we're into the vintage motorcycle display area. Where I grew up, we didn't have sidewalks, we had horse trails, and the family up the street had some boys and a bunch of three-wheelers, and they were all over the place on those things. Eventually they got outlawed, too many accidents, but those boys had fun. In the early 90s, the first bike that I really, really wanted was a CBR, and I was still playing basketball in college, and I loved the Lakers, so those early 90s CBRs were right up my alley with the yellow, purple, and white graphics. I wanted one of those bikes so bad. We finally made our way back outside of the parking lot to check out some more cars, and we stumbled across American Honda's first race car. They used this 1970 Honda N600 in the Baja 1000. So kudos to whoever rode this little car in the sand through Baja. That must have been quite a feat, I'll tell you. I love that these have all their rust intact. You can totally tell that this is the real deal. These have been sitting somewhere. The sign on the window said they found them someplace in Seattle, so they had probably been hiding in a garage for a while. And one of my favorite things of the day, a giant yellow marshmallow peep. Obviously, it's a stuffed animal, but a giant peep inside this other car. Lots of fun things that people do with their cars. Next up, we have a couple more of my favorite cars for the day. This little one, the owner said his son works for In-N-Out Burger, and inside he has some fun accessories. He's got some In-N-Out Burger pillows, French fry pillow, and on the back he's got some little ornaments of the In-N-Out Burger drink and French fries. And then in the 70s, there was a lady in my neighborhood who had this car in red, and she not only was she beautiful, she drove that car like a maniac, and I lived on a curve, so she would whip around in front of my house, and I just loved this car. I loved the way she looked, just everything about the car and her hair and her makeup. She it just was so cool, you know. So for a little kid, this was one of the first cars that I really liked. So cool. And another one of my neighbors had this really cool car. His was an older version and it was a 280ZX, but I loved those cars as well. Our final What Is It car is the Honda E. It's an electric vehicle that was made in Japan from 2020 to 24, and it's very reminiscent of the early Civics. This was probably the oldest car in the parking lot, but I didn't have a chance to chat with the owner and find out what year it was. He was busy talking to somebody else, and then I was ready to move on to the motorcycles that were in the last row. So sorry, don't have any info on that car. So I'm in the back row of the parking lot now, heading back to the sidecar. And special shout out to Honda for putting on this event. Again, it's called Cars, Bikes, and Coffee. You can check out the information on hondacollectionhall.com. I believe they're doing this event every other month, and it was a Saturday morning from 9 to 12. So if you're in the Southern California area or you think you're going to be here, check the calendar and stop by American Honda headquarters in Torrance, California, and you can check out their collection hall as well as tons of fabulous looking bikes and cars out in the parking lot. Oh, that Indian, I loved that. I test drove the FTR and loved it. Really wanted to buy it, but I'm just a little too tall for it. But there's so many bikes, not enough time, right? N plus one. So, uh, very lucky here in Southern California. We've got great roads, great weather. We don't have to put salt on the roads. So there's so many classic cars and motorcycles that are in great condition here in Southern California. And so many places, there's, coffee shops that always have like a car Saturday or a car Sunday, and people just gather and drink coffee and kick tires. So always fun car culture and bike culture in Southern California. This red bike coming up with the huge seat and backrest has a fun conversation piece on it. There's a light that says love, and it lights up. It probably has a control somewhere, and it says, "Will you marry me?" So I bet you that's a fun button to push when you're stuck at a red light, and maybe you want to talk to the gal in the car next to you. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had as much fun as I did walking around and checking out all the cool cars and motorcycles. It's always a pleasure to hang out on the Honda campus. I've been here for many events and charities. So that's about it for that. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Please click that subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you out on a ride very soon. Take care.